Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to share with you some books that I'm just excited about and that I want to read very soon, mostly when university ends, because as you may or may not know, I go to university and life is hella hectic right now. I have COVID and I have been quarantined, but I have zero symptoms. It's like I'm fake sick. However, my mom has forced me to make some lemonade because lemons have vitamin C and apparently that helps your immune system. I should know that because I am a biochemist. That's what I'm studying. But yeah, I'm gonna make some lemonade while talking about books, and I just realized I forgot my knife. How am I gonna cut these lemons? So I'll be right back. And the first book I want to talk about is Infinite Jest. So I know that this book is like 1,000 pages or something. And honestly, that's all I need to know. Because after finishing Little Life, I realized I love long books. And the reason why I love long books is because I get to spend a lot of time with the characters, a lot of time with the author's writing. And it's just such an immersive experience that I want to do more often. What short books don't do for me is that they don't provide that immersive, I want to say lifelong, but like if it happens for a long enough time, it will be lifelong because now I think about A Little Life every single day. So yeah, I want that to happen more often and I want to read more long books. So Infinite Jest is something I've seen a lot. I mean, maybe not that much, but I've seen enough people reading Infinite Jest that I'm intrigued about it. I know it has something to do with like the entertainment industry or like just entertainment in general and how it has shaped society in America. And honestly, that sounds great. I want to learn more about that and I want to see why David Foster Wallace is so popular here in America. So that's what I'm going to do. The second book, or maybe the second author I want to read more of, is Haruki Murakami. So, as you may know, I actually don't know, I haven't talked about him that much. Maybe you know a little bit. I read last year Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami, and I liked it a lot. I don't want to say I loved it, but I really, really like it. And at the end, when I finished it, I was thinking whether I should give it 4 or 5 stars because I was torn. I was like, is it a 4? Is it a 5? I don't know. But in the end, I ended up giving it a 4 because even though it was so beautifully written, it wasn't something I usually gravitate towards. It was like a type of story I don't see as my kind of story. But then I read Kafka on the Shore, much more philosophical and much more magical and dreamlike. It felt like lucid dreaming. And most of the time I didn't even know what was happening, but that was such an immersive experience. Oh my god, I said it again. So I want to read more of Haruki Murakami. Now, I am in a dilemma. Should I read the Wind-Up Bird Chronicles? Or Chronicle, I don't know. Something with a wind-up bird. And read that? Or should I read IQ84? Or 1Q84? I don't know. I want to read one of those two next. That's going to be my next Haruki Murakami read, but I don't know which one. IQ84 or 1Q84 is the one that is longer, but it's also a trilogy, so if I were to read it, I would like to have the version with the 3 books that are like separated so that I could like flip it better, because like when it's such a thick book you can't read it with comfort. But then there's also the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, which people consider as his masterpiece. I mean, both of them they consider as his masterpieces, but I'm torn. So if you have read a Haruki Murakami book, please, or just have read all of his books, or just some of his books, please tell me which one is better, the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle or 1Q84, because I will read that one last. Because I want to make it like from worst to best, so that it could be like a crescendo. Anyway, the next book I wanted to read, or maybe like these 2 books are related. I mean, this triangle of books is related, so hear me out. So as I mentioned, A Little Life was the best book I read in 2020. and it has become my favorite book of all time. I literally think about that book every single day, and I actually bought a copy for myself because I read the ebook from the library, but now I'm rereading it and I'm having such an amazing experience, and I love that book so much. But there is another book that people say it's similar to A Little Life, and that book is The Great Believers by Rebecca Ikai? I don't know, I'm sorry. Anyway, it's with a yellow cover. Now, everybody says this book is similar to A Little Life, and I want to read it, but I'm not going to read it soon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read it in November, just like I read A Little Life last year, so that I can have similar experiences for both Novembers. That's what I do most of the time. When I read a book by an author in 1 month, I try to read a book by the same author next year at the same month. But there's also another book that is related to A Little Life, but I'm not sure if this conspiracy theory is correct. So, I've heard rumors that A Little Life is a retelling of Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. I think that's his name. Yes, so I don't know if this rumor is true. I've never heard the author mention this book before. I just saw it once, that it's a retelling, but I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's true. But that doesn't stop me from being intrigued about Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. So I am going to read this book, this summer, because it's a classic. So I don't think I can handle it right now because midterms are kicking my ass. But yeah, honestly, it's a classic that I want to read, and basically, I'm really looking forward to it. The next book I want to read. Which one do I want to read? What do I want to read? Why is my mind thinking so much? Oh yeah, I want to read Jane Eyre. Why do I want to read Jane Eyre? Because everyone keeps talking about Jane Eyre, and I'm afraid I'm gonna get spoiled about her someday. So I'd rather skip or just avoid that experience and just freaking read Jane Eyre, because it's such a well-known and well-loved classic that everybody talks about. Like, I read this book a while ago. It was by Nina LaCour. It's with the girl and the beautiful cover. Wait, I forgot. Anyway, there's this book by Nina LaCour that I read a while ago, and it mentioned Jane Eyre so much. Like, whenever Jane Eyre would get mentioned, I would skip the passages where people were talking about Jane Eyre because I was afraid I was gonna get spoiled. And I haven't been spoiled yet. Don't spoil me in the comments. But yes, I do want to read Jane Eyre. But again, I think it's probably gonna happen during the summer months because I don't think I can concentrate in a classic right now. And maybe I'll mention one last book that I really, really like. What is something I'm excited about? I don't think I'm gonna maybe 100% love this book, but I've had it in my TBR for so long, and by TBR I mean list on my iPhone. I don't buy books. People like, no, it's not like that. And that book is A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. Now, hear me out. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn is one of my favorite childhood reads or books, whatever you want to call them. And I have not read a book by Mark Twain since I was 12 years old, and I read Huckleberry Finn. And I think I read Tom Sawyer before that, but I did not like it as much. So I want to read something by Mark Twain again, and I've heard Ariel from the channel Ariel Bissett talk about this book so much. And she says about a guy who travels back in time, and I think he travels at a time where King Arthur was still alive, and he has this goal to boss the town in 3 days or something, and that just sounds like a pure delight. I want to read more comedy. I want to read stuff that will make me laugh, and that just sounds like something that it will definitely make me laugh. And yeah, I am super duper excited about that one. I've had it in my TBR since 2019 probably, which was, I think, the year that I discovered Ariel Bissett. Yeah, I have not been on BookTube for very long. I discovered BookTube in 2018, and before that, I used to watch PewDiePie's book reviews, which, by the way, I highly recommend. He talks about books that are very well known and they have a lot of critical acclaim, so he knows what he's reading. But I miss his book reviews, so please, PewDiePie, please keep doing the book reviews because they're so good. But anyway, that is, I mean, I would like to mention one more. Oh my god, I totally forgot. Something that I really want to read, and I'm gonna read it soon, by the way, is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness, which is becoming a movie. I think it has already become a movie, and it has Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley. I don't care that much about Tom Holland, I only care about Daisy Ridley. I'm still gonna watch it. It sounds amazing. It's about a guy who can communicate with his mind, and he lives in a planet, or I think it's Earth, where there are only men. But one day he discovers a girl, and he also has a dog, and I think they're in a mission or something. And that just sounds like a lot of fun, and it sounds like a YA fantasy that I'm like I could jazz with, you know what I mean? Because I don't like YA fantasy that much. I've only read very few that are actually up my alley, and I DNF'd ACOTAR, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. That series is hella boring. I don't like YA fantasy, but maybe I just don't like YA fantasy that is written by women. Oh no. No, that's not true. Tomi Adeyemi is a woman. I love Children of Blood and Bone. But what I want to do is explore more male YA authors because I feel like there's not a lot of them out there. And I want just to read more Patrick Ness because I actually haven't read any Patrick Ness, and I've heard he writes amazing books. There's also another book of him that I want to read. It's called More Than This, and it's about a guy who dies, and that just sounds amazing. But yeah, those are all the books that I'm excited about that I want to read this year. These are, oh my god, totally forgot another book. Okay, this is gonna be the last one, I promise. The last book that I want to mention, I know I was like thinking about this one, but I was not remembering. And that book is The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo by STIEG LARSSON. I don't know how to pronounce his name, sorry. But it's a mystery. I do not read a lot of mysteries, but the ones that I do read, I pick carefully because I really like mystery. One of my favorite books of all time is a mystery, and that is Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. I know a lot of people don't like Dan Brown, but I do, so shut up. Yeah, I want to read that. And by that I mean The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because I've heard nothing but great things about it. And recently, a booktuber that I watch called Books with Emily Fox read it, and I know she is very critical about mystery thrillers, especially, but she gave it 5 stars. So if she gave it 5 stars, then it has to be amazing. And honestly, it's a series, so if I like it, I can just binge the whole series. It just sounds like a recipe for success for me. And there's also a movie, so I can also watch a movie. And bonus, I am an INTJ personality, and when I watched a video by A Little Bit of Monica, she recommended the movie The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo for INTJs. So it's just perfect for me. The book is tailored for my personality. It's set for me, like I will love it. 10 out of 10, 100%. So, with that book, and on that note, and with this juice, I'm gonna end this video. I really hope you enjoyed yourselves, and maybe I'll do more of these. I feel like I really want to talk about books I'm excited about rather than books I've already read. Because with books I've already read, I'd rather talk about them in my mind. Like, I'd rather think about them rather than talk about them. So, I hope to see you guys next time, and I know this channel is not very productive, like I only upload here once in 3 months or something, but I'm sorry, I'm a university student, I have other priorities, and I have another YouTube channel that I kind of love a little bit more than this one. But anyway, bye!